beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and it's time for my November ranking. This will be the last monthly ranking that I do for 2024. I can't believe next month in December it will be time for the best of the year. So I'm really looking forward to that. But today we're focused on all of the new products that I tested and reviewed in the month of November. I've been using these items all month long, and this is a great supplement to those individual swatch and review type of videos. I find this really helpful for myself as well because I get to take a look back on a small section of new products for the year at a time and really assess my feelings and my experiences. So I think that doing these monthly rankings all year long will really make for a better end of the year favorites type of video too. At least that's what I'm hoping. I am going to try something slightly different for November. In past monthly ranking videos, I've gone through the new products in the order that I reviewed them and then ranked them. Today, I want to try something a little bit different. I want to rank things in sections. So look at all the palettes, look at all the lip products, etc., and rank them amongst their peers and see how that goes for us. So for the month of November, I tried out quite a few new palettes. Lots of holiday collections, of course. We have the Polar Express palette from Nomad Cosmetics. And we have these two new holiday palettes from Oden's Eye. Then we have this Icy Nude palette from Huda Beauty and the Spellcraft palette from Lethal Cosmetics. Automatically, I am sure of my favorites out of the bunch. The Silvery Bliss palette is my personal favorite of everything that I reviewed this month as far as palettes go. The Spellcraft palette is a close second. If I had a little bit more variety and a little bit more impact in the mattes in Spellcraft, this would easily be a top tier product, but it's a very close second, and I actually like these two palettes used together. They make a wonderful pairing. I'm gonna put the Icy Nude palette in this little limbo between I'm in like with you and just meh. I do find that this color palette is a little bit underwhelming, especially when you look in the context of these more exciting, colorful packaging and shades. But it is incredibly useful, and the formulas are to die for. The only one I don't like is the glitter shade. So between just a little bit of a humdrum color story, which admittedly is still very useful in my collection, and this unusable glitter shade, this just doesn't quite make it into that second tier. I would say this is very middle of the road. I want to put the Polar Express palette solidly in the I am in like with you category. It does have a very heavy blue color story, which is not something that I typically gravitate towards. It's just not one of my favorite colors to wear. However, I have to give some credit to the color curation here in regards to those blues, because when I wear a bright blue eyeshadow, I do want a nice neutral to really ground that look. And this palette does give me that. This palette gives me a useful blue-centric color story. And the packaging is just gorgeous. I love the nostalgia. I think they really hit the theming on the head. The formulas, performance-wise, are beautiful. Even though this isn't my exact favorite color story, I'm still in like with it. I'm just not in love with it. Ultimately, I feel very similarly about this Pinky palette from Oden's Eye. This is the Rosy Jingle palette. I feel similarly about this one as I do about the Icy Nude palette. The colors don't really do it for me. It has a lot of pinks, it has a lot of light, more pastel-y type of colors, and those are also just not my personal favorite shades to wear. However, I do think that it's lovely performance-wise. I think it's really fun. It's a fun take on a holiday palette. So I don't hate it. I don't even think it's just meh, but it's not quite as good as the Polar Express palette for me. These are the 5 lip products that I reviewed this month. We have some new faux filler glosses from Huda Beauty. These are shimmery to go along with the Icy Nude palette. There is a black liquid lipstick from Lethal Cosmetics that goes with their Spellcraft palette. This little holiday set from Merit that has 3 different lipsticks and 3 different finishes. And then 2 different lines from Essence Cosmetics that I reviewed in November. Their Slim Stick, which is a matte lipstick, and their Juicy Balm Glossy Butter Balm, which is a tinted lip balm. My first placement that I'm sure of is these Essence lip balms. These are just meh for me. There are quite a few things that I like about this lip balm. I do like the scents for the most part. I think the packaging is cute. I love the price point. These are very affordable, under $5, which is just getting rarer and rarer as time goes on. So there are a lot of points about this particular lip balm that I like. I'm only really enjoying this Choco Lot to Handle shade. If this was the only one they released, I feel that I would level it up. But as far as the entire collection goes, I do think these are, again, just middle of the road for me. Not bad, just not really jumping for joy every time I use them. The Slim Stick, on the other hand, I do think is a highly underrated lip product, not just at the drugstore. I would love to see this line expanded to twice as many colors. I think this is one of the better drugstore matte lipsticks on the market currently. I just think these are great. They're comfortable. The packaging is very sleek. It's super useful for every day. It wears well, it's comfy. I just have nothing but good things to say about this Slim Stick. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that we get more colors because I think this is truly a really wonderful formula. The more I used it, the more impressed I became. I also think that these Merit lipsticks should rank pretty high for this month. This is such a beautifully done holiday set. It feels luxurious, it feels special, but it's not so off the wall that it becomes unmarketable or unusable for the everyday customer. I've been a longtime fan of the Merit signature lipsticks. I think all of these colors are super pretty. This would be at the top of a gift guide for me. If I were to make a makeup lover gift guide, this would be very high up on that list because I do think this is just well done and special and expensive feeling. That's what I want from a holiday set. This black liquid lipstick from Lethal Cosmetics, the shade is called Abyss, by the way. I love the formula on this. It's incredibly comfortable. It doesn't feel drying and crackly and papery on my lips. It gives me great coverage. For a color this deep, I almost always experience a lot of patchiness, a lot of uneven look on the lips, and this just has the most beautiful, smooth, inky opacity that if I was a black lip lover, if I was somebody who was going to get tons and tons of use out of a black liquid lipstick. And fun side note, once I wore black liquid lipstick to a military ball and everybody looked like prom queens and I looked like Morticia Adams. It was actually pretty awesome. I highly recommend doing that. But in general, it's not the type of lip color that I'm going to get a lot of miles out of. So for me, a black liquid lip will probably never be a top tier product just based on my personal style. But as far as the formula goes, highly impressed. This is still ranking super high considering that it's not a color I'm often drawn to. Lastly, for lips, I'm going to put the Huda Beauty Faux Filler Gloss in the Just Meh category. I quite like the formula of this gloss, and I've ranked the cream finish glosses higher in the past. They have been among my favorites. I just don't love the shimmery look on the lips, and that's really the only reason why I can't rank this as high as some of these others. But it is, if you love a shimmery lip, I'm sure you'll love this. It's just not quite right for this gal. This month we have 3 different cheek products to talk about. Another one of those Merit holiday sets. This has 3 different balm blushes, and then two cheek products from the Huda Icy Nude collection, the face gloss, and some new shades of the Faux filter blush. We're just going to cut to the chase. I'm sure this is what everyone expects. The Faux filter blush is absolutely one of my favorite products of the month, if not my absolute favorite. I loved this formula when it first released. I went crazy for it. I was hoping for more shades, and I love the two new shades that we got with the Icy Nude collection. Far and away my favorite pieces from the entire Huda little holiday Icy Nude collection. I cannot stop using these. I I love both shades. These blend so effortlessly into my skin. I can't put these down. This is full spoiler alert here, but the Huda Faux Filter blushes absolutely will be in the best of the year because I cannot get enough of these little liquid blushes. They are magic. I can't really say the same thing about this Huda face gloss. It actually looked way prettier on than I expected. It's definitely the best of these little face gloss type products that she's released so far, in my opinion. The shimmery little pinky glow, way, way cuter than I was anticipating. But the look of the product is just too off putting for me. And I just don't love a super baby pinky cheek anyway. So I'm already prone not to be obsessed with this type of shade. This is just meh for me. Still outperformed my expectation. I really thought it was going to be a least best type of product, and it's not. So that is something. I'm not quite sure where I want to put these Merit little balm blushes. These are perfectly okay, but definitely not among my favorites of this type of blush product. So I do think that means that these need to be in the just meh category. They're perfectly fine. If this is somebody's absolute favorite blush, I wouldn't argue with them. I don't have any major gripe. They're just not really fulfilling any sort of need in my collection that I don't already have covered with a similar product that's probably less expensive. So these are just meh. But if you love them, I get it. It's just not quite it for me. I didn't test any complexion products this month, but I do have this hyaluronic acid and watermelon fruit extract setting spray. It's a new version of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I really, really like this one. I am somebody with dry skin, so when I see hyaluronic acid, hydrating, glowy, that type of messaging, I already know this is something I'm probably going to get along with. I love the scent here. I could see how a lot of people wouldn't. If you don't like fragranced makeup or fragranced skincare, you're definitely not going to like this setting spray. It is a very sweet, very watermelon forward type of scent. Doesn't bother me, but I can see how it would be way too much for some people. I'm going to put this on par with the Spellcraft palette and the Merit lipsticks. Definitely has the potential to be a top tier product, but not quite as much of an obsession as these three that are reigning champs at the top right now. Last but not least, we have three little additional eye products. These two, the multi-chrome liners and the colorful mascaras, also released along with the Spellcraft collection. And then this little liquid eyeshadow is from Giorgio Armani. I tested this in my trying new makeup video. Of these three, this is the product that I've gone back to the most. I love this for a super easy, all over, one and done type of lid. This is a solid I am in like with you product for me. It is something that I've enjoyed going back to, but it's one of those situations yet again where I do feel like I have similar products that perform just as well for a lower price point. And that is a factor for me. Ultimately, I'm somebody who recommends a lot of products, and it is a priority for me to recommend things that have the best possible value. At the end of the day, I think this is a great little liquid eyeshadow. I can see a lot of people loving this. If this is something that is in your budget and you're interested in, I don't think you'd be disappointed at all. However, I would probably recommend something like a ColourPop Jelly Much shadow just as much as this, and that is significantly less expensive, a fraction of the price, truly. So it's all relative. I'm also going to put these colorful mascaras in the I Am in Like With You tier. This is my preferred colorful mascara formula. If I am going to do something other than a black or brown mascara, I am going for this lethal colorful mascara every single time. It's the best one that I have in my collection. I haven't tried a million of these, but I've tried a fair few and I really, really like these. With that being said, much like the black liquid lipstick, even though I am crazy about the formula, it's just not going to be an obsession for me because it's not something that I go to regularly. It's not something that I'm putting enough use into to really, really just love and adore. But again, still good. Lots of very good products. It was a competitive ranking this month. Lastly, the multi-chrome liners from Lethal. These are just meh for me. They're not quite as pigmented and impactful as some of my other multi-chrome liners. And frankly, I think that the ColourPop ones and the Kaleidos ones are more impressive to me. And the ColourPop ones are less expensive than these. So these were just a little bit too light, a little bit too soft for me. If that's the look you're going for, you may be incredibly happy. These may be at the top of the ranking for you if that's what you're looking for. They're very pretty, but multi-chrome's always going to be pretty. So to me, meh. No least best products this month. That is always a good sign. I had so many successful products that I tested this month, and I feel like this whole year has been a super high level of quality and interest and just so many great releases in 2024. I don't know how I'm going to narrow everything down to favorites for next month, but at least I have these monthly rankings to go back and reference so that I can have a sort of living diary of my makeup testing this year. I hope you find this chill little monthly wrap up as relaxing and enjoyable as I do. I would love to hear what products you tried out. Have you tried any of these that I talked about today? Make sure you go and check out the description box because I will link all of the dedicated reviews so you can get way more in-depth information about each one of these individual products. You can see swatches, hear more of my thoughts, see packaging close-ups, all of that fun stuff. I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I hope that you'll leave all of your thoughts and all of your product suggestions for us down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I love your cute little face, and I will see you real soon in my next video. Bye!